When a girl says I'm fine and 21 other deadly terms used by women. You might wonder a lot why girls say, I'm fine, when they're really not. There are a lot of reasons women don't just come out and say what they feel. Even if it would be so much easier, and they know it would be easier, they still shy away from letting it all out. 1. They don't want to be vulnerable. For a lot of women, it's really hard to express their feelings and be vulnerable around someone. It's also difficult to confess when they're upset about something they know they shouldn't be. As most people know, women tend to be more emotional than men. So, when they have emotions that they think they shouldn't have, sometimes they put on a mask of everything being okay. They don't want to be told that their feelings are invalid, so sometimes they avoid expressing them. 2. They want men to read their minds. There are other times when they just think you should know that what you're doing or saying is something that would upset them. So, they keep it inside because it gets tiring to keep repeating the things they don't like. They also fear being judged for feeling a certain way. 3. They were trained to talk that way. Believe it or not, males and females are socialized to speak differently. It's first taught by their parents, and it's also reinforced by school and society as a whole. The world expects men to be aggressive, assertive, and direct. These are stereotypical masculine traits. But the world expects women to be kind, nurturing, and friendly. So, when a woman is direct and assertive, most people think she's being bitchy. And she doesn't want to be seen that way. 4. They think it's more polite to be indirect. Because women have been socialized to be nice and kind to other people, they think that if they're indirect that it's more polite. For example, instead of telling her boyfriend, hey, get me a glass of water when you're in the kitchen, she'll say something like, I'm really thirsty. You see, she's not telling him to get her water. Instead, she's hinting around that she wants water, and she hopes he'll pick up on it and get it for her. When she says things like this, in her mind, she's avoiding being bossy. 5. They want you to keep asking questions. When a woman is moping around the house and her man doesn't know why she might be acting that way because she wants him to ask her what's wrong. And when he does, she might just say, nothing. But she doesn't want you to stop at nothing. She wants him to keep asking her questions about why she won't tell him what's really wrong. If he keeps asking questions, in her mind, it's showing he really cares. If he doesn't, then he doesn't care. 6. They are testing their man. As we just discussed, sometimes women use certain language and behavior to test their men. It's probably not a surprise to hear that a lot of women are insecure and want constant validation. Because of this, they use a lot of indirect strategies to see how their partner really feels about them. It's not a fair thing to do, but if he passes the test, then she feels more secure in the relationship. Sometimes, if you don't react in a certain way or get to the bottom of why they're upset, you can make things much, much worse. Therefore, you should learn to recognize when your girl just isn't happy at all. These are the terms they tend to use when they mean something completely different. Memorize these deadly terms used by women, and you'll be able to tell just how your girl is feeling. 1. I'm fine. As we already mentioned before, this phrase is one of the worst deadly terms used by women to ever hear your girl say. Why? Because it does not mean she's fine at all. In fact, it means the opposite. If you ask if your woman is okay and she responds with this, you better do some backtracking. She's not fine. Really, she is not. So don't believe her. 2. Whatever. This is more of a universal phrase than just one woman use, but they're definitely the ones to use it the most. You just have to pay attention to the way women say this. Sometimes, whatever means just that. But if it's said in a much different tone, it does not mean whatever. You better ask what's wrong. 3. I don't care. This is another term you have to really read into your girl's body language and tone. If she seems tense and won't make eye contact, she definitely does care. She's basically just too embarrassed or upset to tell you that she does. So, give her the chance to open up. 4. Do what you want. This is probably one of the most dangerous phrases for your girl to say. She will literally never mean for you to do what you want. If you're suggesting something that you think she may be iffy about and you hear her say this, she is extremely pissed at what you want to do. 5. Nothing. This never means nothing. Often, when you ask your girlfriend if something is wrong and she says, nothing, it's usually because she thinks you should just know what's wrong, but you never do, and therefore, she will say nothing when she means everything. 6. Go ahead. Another one of the terrifying deadly terms used by women that you should definitely be cautious of. If you ask your girlfriend to do something and she said, go ahead, do not go ahead. It literally means that you should rethink that, and then don't do it. This is not a happy phrase at all. 7. Don't worry about it. Now, this may seem like a really innocent and simple phrase. People say this all the time. But it's all about the situation when she says it. Did you just do something wrong and are apologizing? If it was a serious argument, you should definitely not take this phrase literally. Worry about it. Believe us. 8. Leave me alone. During an argument, this phrase will get thrown around over and over again. And guess what? She doesn't mean it. While guys may actually want to be left alone when they're mad, girls want the opposite. They want you to try to fix it and to keep talking to them about it. 9. You don't have to ask permission. Yes, you do have to ask permission. This is a lesser-known deadly term used by women, but it's still dangerous. There are certain times you have to check in with your girl and ask permission about certain things. If she says this in a sassy tone, it means you definitely were right to ask her. And maybe you shouldn't do it. 10. What's done is done. This may also seem like a normal phrase, but what she really means by this is, you better fix what's done. She really isn't happy with what has happened, and it may take a long time to get over if she says this. 11. Good luck. This is one of the very dangerous deadly terms used by women for 2 reasons. First, she may be mad and tell you this if you think she'll forgive you soon. Another way this is dangerous is if it's flirty. If she says this while you're joking about winning her over, it just means she'll be playing hard to get. 12. I guess. This extremely vague term is not one you really want to hear come out of your girl's mouth. Usually, it means she's agreeing with you, but she doesn't want to do so. And if you're smart, you'll figure out a way to make her happier to agree. 13. Wow. This is the mother of all deadly terms used by women. Hearing this should basically make you think, oh shit, because you're about to enter into an argument you will most definitely not win. 14. Wonderful. This is something girls use in a very sarcastic way. Usually, it's accompanied by an eye roll. You don't want to hear this because it means she's really not happy about something. The trouble is that if she says this and her voice is absolutely not good, she's making it painfully obvious to you. 15. This isn't exactly a word, but it works in the same way. This is another super obvious thing that a girl does to show you she is not happy about something. She'll lower her voice and go, if you've asked for approval. And she does not want to give it. Be warned, anything with this is not going down a good path. 16. Are you hungry? Let's say you're driving on a road trip, and she suddenly asks if you're hungry. You respond, no, I'm not, and keep driving for hours. Meanwhile, you get the silent T treatment and you wonder why. The reason is that, are you hungry? Really means, I'm hungry, so let's pull off the road and get something to eat. 17. I don't need any help. If she's cleaning the house, doing laundry, or cooking dinner, she might act like she doesn't need any help from you, even if you ask. So, if she says, no, I don't need any help, what she really wants you to do is help her. She wants you to be her partner and not her child. 18. Sorry, I have a boyfriend. If you're not in a relationship with her but you're trying to hit on a girl, she might say, I have a boyfriend. That might be code for, I'm not interested in you so stop hitting on me. Whether she really has a boyfriend or not is irrelevant. 19. You're such a good friend. If you have a crush on her and she's your friend, she might emphasize that you are such a good friend to her. That is her way of telling you that you have been friend-zoned. She doesn't want to come out and tell you that she's not attracted to you, so she opts for reinforcing that you're a good friend hoping you'll get the hint. 20. I have to check my calendar. This is a line that women use when they really have no intention of actually checking their schedule. It makes it sound like she's interested in seeing you, but she's really not. That way, it buys her time to figure out an excuse not to hang out with you. 21. Sorry, I've been so busy. Maybe you've texted or called her, and she hasn't gotten back to you for hours, or maybe even days. She'll make excuses galore for why she hasn't, and usually one of the top excuses is, I've been so busy. Sorry, but no one is that busy they can't return a text in a relatively timely manner. Wouldn't the world be a much easier place to live in if women just said what they were thinking? Most guys would probably agree. But knowing these deadly terms used by women will help you determine just what she's feeling.